As a little girl, do you remember playing the game Hungry Hungry Hippos? There were 4 different colored hippos, and the hippo who had eaten the most marbles at the end of the game was the winner. Like those hungry, hungry hippos, do you ever feel like your appetite is uncontrollable at times? Well, if so, there's a reason for this. Hunger on the surface is pretty easy for us to understand. We get hungry, and after we've gone several hours without food, that hunger goes away after we've eaten and we're satisfied. But behind the scenes, there's an intricate dance of hormones that are regulating your appetite that are playing a pivotal role in determining when, what, and how much you eat. In this episode, I'll share how hormones regulate your appetite and 5 ways to support normal hormone levels. So friend, if you're ready to stop those nagging cravings that are sabotaging your health goals and finally control your appetite naturally, grab a notebook and pen and let's dive in. Hey friend, welcome to Integrative Medicine for Energy and Health. Are you struggling with low energy, excessive weight, chronic fatigue, imbalanced hormones, or body aches and pains that are robbing you of enjoying life? If you're ready to take the guesswork out of living a healthier life, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Rekishia. I'm a mom, honorably retired Air Force veteran, award-winning author, social worker, and Christian alternative medicine provider. For years, I tried improving my health through conventional medicine and nothing worked until I finally found a simple strategy that was easy and fun. This podcast will provide you with natural ways to increase energy, lose weight, regulate hormones, and improve your mood. If you're ready to live, look, and feel better, grab your favorite cup of herbal tea and let's jump in. Did you know that I have a monthly online health coaching accountability program for women just like you? Women who want to increase energy, lose weight, and balance hormones using alternative medicine. Women are experiencing positive and dramatic results and are looking, living, and feeling better. Visit my website at rekishiamcmillan.com for a free consultation. You'll also find the link in today's show notes. Before I became a health coach, I really didn't understand the connection between our appetite and hormones. And our hormones interact with specific receptors in the brain to regulate hunger and fullness. The balance and the coordination of these hormones are crucial for maintaining a healthy appetite as well as body weight. And when there are imbalances or disruptions in these hormonal systems, it leads to things such as appetite dysregulation and could also contribute to weight-related issues that we see ranging from obesity and other eating disorders. And our hunger hormones, they do their job when they send those messages to our gut as well as to our brain. And this helps us to know when it's time to eat. It seems like it's a simple thing, but it's one that's crucial for our survival. And hormone regulation is affected by a number of things that include genetic factors, lifestyle, medical conditions, as well as changes in the body. And several of our hormones play an important role in regulating our appetite. And some of those focus on regulating the short-term effects of appetite, such as avoiding overeating at dinner, and others play a longer game to maintain normal amounts of energy stores in our body over a period of time. And so I want to dive a little deeper into the five main hormones that actually help to regulate our appetite. And the first one is called leptin. And this is often referred to as the satiety hormone. And leptin is primarily produced by fat cells and serves as a communicator between our body's energy stores and our brain. And it signals to the brain that you're full or to stop those cravings, as well as reduces your appetite. And leptin is produced every single time that we eat. And those with greater body fat often have higher leptin levels, which can lead to leptin resistance. And what this does is that it causes you to feel hungry even after you've eaten enough. The second hormone is ghrelin. And in many ways, ghrelin is the opposite of leptin. And this is known as the hunger hormone. And ghrelin increases before our meals that we eat, signaling to the brain to trigger hunger and encouraging eating, and decreasing after we've eaten. And it also signals to the body to store fat, and it's partially responsible for those impossible to ignore stomach growls. So when you're having those stomach growls, you can contribute that to the hormone ghrelin. Any type of irregular eating patterns or restrictive diets can disrupt the normal release of ghrelin within the body, and it causes you to feel hungry more often. And when you have a higher level of ghrelin, it can make it more difficult for you to lose weight because they tend to cause more food cravings. The third hormone is insulin. And insulin's primary role is to regulate our blood sugar levels, which in turn affects our appetite. And insulin levels tend to rise after we eat, which helps to suppress appetite by putting more glucose back into our cells for energy. Now, if we have too much insulin, this can lead to what we call insulin resistance. And this occurs when the body's blood sugar and insulin levels have been elevated over a long period of time, and those cells start becoming resistant to the effects of insulin. And when the body can't respond to insulin properly, more than likely you're going to feel more hungry as well as thirsty more often as a result. The fourth hormone is cortisol. And if you're like most women, you probably eat differently when you're stressed. I know that I do. We call that emotional eating. And cortisol, it's best known as that stress hormone. It's produced in larger amounts when our body's response to stress kicks in. And this can increase hunger as well as intensify those cravings for those comfort foods that we tend to gravitate to. Those are oftentimes high in salt and sugar and fat. And cortisol can also affect the regulation of leptin as well as ghrelin, which contributes to stress eating and changes in our appetite. The fifth and the final hormone is called glucagon like peptide 1, also known as GLP-1 for short. Glucagon like peptide. So GLP-1, it's similar to leptin, and it helps to trigger satiety. It also slows digestion and movement of food through the digestive system, which helps us to stay fuller or feel fuller longer. And this makes it easier to avoid snacking as well as overeating. And so now that you have a foundation of the food hormones that impact our appetite, I want to share some different ways to help you to support normal hormone levels to help you to really control your appetite. Because normal hormone levels, they go a long way in helping us to manage our weight as well as hunger. And it also helps us to just feel better overall. So I want to share 5 tips that support the body's efforts to maintain normal hormonal levels. The first one is time-based eating or fasting. And the recommendation is to fast for at least 12 hours a day, so that you can give your body, your digestive system, a break. What this does is that it can also improve your insulin sensitivity, it decreases your ghrelin levels, and it helps to regulate leptin hormones. And so, regardless of when or how often you eat, making sure that you follow a consistent schedule is what's going to help to keep hormones working as they should. And so when it comes down to time-based eating or fasting, fasting is something that I have practiced for many, many years now. Since I was 19 years of age is when I really started fasting for spiritual practices. But now that I've moved into the space of being a health coach, a health professional, I also include this into my physical practices for health as well. One of the scriptures I want to share regarding fasting is found in Isaiah 58. This is an excellent chapter that refers to the many benefits of fasting for our physical as well as our spiritual health. And so, if you want to go more in depth with fasting, I want to encourage you to listen to podcast episode number 62, where I share divine alignment through fasting. So, again, one of the ways to help normalize our hormone levels is through fasting. The second tip has to do with our healthy eating. And so when we are filling our meals and our snacks with a variety of nutritious foods, it makes a difference with our hormone levels. That means that we're incorporating plenty of whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and we're staying away from those ultra processed foods, because a healthy diet is going to help to ensure that you're getting the calories as well as the nutrients that you need. And it's going to keep your hormone levels where they need to be regulated properly due to your appetite. And so, if we are not focusing on a whole food diet and again consuming those ultra processed foods, this is going to lead to dysregulated hormones, which is going to cause those sugar cravings, those food cravings, which are going to cause you to overeat. One of the scriptures found in Proverbs 23:2 says that we need to put a knife to our throat if a man is given over to great appetite. And so that is just a scripture of warning that we must stop the brakes or implement a healthy type of intervention so that we're not given over to gluttony, so that we're not given over to overeating. And so, again, focusing on those whole foods, those whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean meats, staying away from the ultra processed foods, is going to help you to regulate your appetite to avoid that overeating. The third area is with exercise. Aerobic exercise is so important because it temporarily suppresses hunger as well as helps to improve insulin sensitivity and overall hormone balance. And so, again, consistency is going to work in your favor. Regular exercise is going to help to regulate your hormones and helps with weight management. And this is something that I found out that was so beneficial in my own life because truly movement is medicine. Getting out in the fresh air, getting that exercise in consistently is going to help your body to stay balanced in regulating the hormones, which will impact your appetite to stay balanced. The fourth area is our sleep. We can never underestimate the power of being well rested. And poor sleep leads to higher levels of cortisol as well as ghrelin and lower levels of leptin. And what this means is that more time is spent feeling hungry, especially at night, which leads to more snacking. And there are times when we may have those occasional setbacks with our sleeping, but it's best to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep regularly. I want to highly encourage you to listen to podcast episode 98, where I share why it is critical for every woman to get adequate sleep. And number 5 is stress management. Now, we know that stress can't always be avoided, but it can be managed. And many times it's tempting to turn to food for comfort in difficult times, but there are certainly more effective ways to keep stress at manageable levels. Some of those things include deep breathing, as well as exercise. These are good ways to lower our cortisol levels, as well as spending time with loved ones or hobbies that you enjoy. Another great way to reduce stress is to serve in your community. I was so blessed this past weekend to be a part of a community event that was sponsored by Healing Streams Breast Cancer Awareness here in New Jersey. It was a breast cancer awareness walk, and during that entire day, I laughed, I walked with incredible women, we prayed together, and it was a great stress reliever. I had a blast. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. Let's wrap it all up. Hunger hormones work for you, not against you. A healthy lifestyle supports normal hormone levels so that they can do their job and in turn help us to feel better. Fasting, healthy diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management are excellent strategies to naturally balance your hormones and control your appetite. The adage, listen to your body, works best when your hormones are well balanced. So I want to encourage you to do what you can to live a healthy lifestyle because in the end, your body will thank you. I'll leave you with 1 Corinthians 6:20. For you were bought with a price, so glorify God in your body. Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may want to have more energy and improve their health naturally? Also, I would love it if you could leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It blesses me tremendously to know that this podcast is helping you. Alrighty then, it's time to go make a protein shake and go for a hike. No more days of feeling tired and drained. I'll see you in a few days for another episode. God bless.